We're seeing some troubling signs in Europe that are beginning to seep their way into America with the various forms of euthanasia, assisted suicide. You wanted to talk about that. Talk to me about the troubling nature of the evolution in this country. We're beginning to see the medical community and unfortunately the culture shift to no longer looking at assisted suicide from a biblical perspective.
Right. Well, assisted suicide has been legal in 5 states in the United States and in 3 countries. But lately, it's gained new momentum. Largely, that's because of the well-publicized assisted suicide of Brittany Maynard, who back in November of 2014, a beautiful young 29-year-old who was dying of brain cancer, she and her family decided to move to the state of Oregon, where she could legally end her life through a lethal dose prescribed for her by a doctor. And she was so beautiful, and her story was so compelling, that now the growing social movement in the United States is to further legalize voluntary euthanasia in many more states. In fact, even now in my own state of California, what is called End of Life Options Act has been introduced into our state assembly. And so as soon as I leave NRB, I'll be going back for coalition meetings to help defeat the passage of that bill in my own state. But it's happening in many other states across the United States. And the thing that troubles me is that if we legalize euthanasia here in the United States, much more than it already is, my concern is about the abuse among the elderly and among people with severe handicapping conditions, infants with disabilities. Because who's to say when multiple sclerosis is terminal? Who's to say when Lou Gehrig's disease is terminal? Right now, the law is for only those with terminal illnesses, but that could include millions of people with disabilities who are despairing and depressed about their condition. Michael, I was once despairing. I was once depressed about my condition. My problem, however, eventually I learned was not my quadriplegia. My problem was I was clinically depressed, and that can be treated. So my concern is that legalizing euthanasia will involve a great abuse among the elderly who might be, quote, pushed into assisted suicide as a end-of-life option, or the abuse among those with disabilities, especially infants with disabilities. So we're working hard against it.